Hi Aquas, if you'd like to come on in, have a seat for some symbolic support. My name is Steph. I'm glad you're here. I have created an ink blot made in your name and essence that we are going to scry for shapes and symbols that may speak to our psyche and psychic senses. Inspired by the aura of early March, but timeless nonetheless whenever you get here. As well, Aquas, we're going to add on Tarot and Oracle. And where Mr. Ghost Gift is here, we're utilizing Ghost Tube Seer for any added visual inspirations that may arise. Overall, please do receive or release freely. All right, Aquas. I'm going to take a moment to open up here. You're welcome to join me, or you can start scrying. Feel well to comment below if you see, sense, or feel anything. Closing the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush. Activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support in the name and honor of the Aquarius Collective. Aquas, thank you so much for being my muse, for holding space for me to share my insights and allowing me to be a guest in your aura. Gratitude galore. As you can see, the Ghost Tube Seer is just beneath me here if anything comes up. But let's get our scry on. Okay, so zooming out here, I'm seeing a character. It's kind of like a Mad Max dog. And it's like a giant bow and arrow. And I feel like I'm protecting this that is being created. Because I am seeing this as like an ultrasound. And there's even orange in there. So whether it's something like a child you've created or creating preggers if you're adopting, etc. Or just something within yourself that you haven't quite exposed yet to other people. You're very protected. It's like a giant. Is it? It's not a bow. I think maybe it's a crossbow. And the tip of the arrow is filled with like highest spirit space. And even something down here, if I may, in the ghost tube that's coming up. I'll see if I can bring it up for you. Yeah, so some of you might be having a child. There is 2 of them in there as well. But I'll leave that for you if you want to zoom in and take a further look. There's something about toys being left out. And it's almost like if you have a child now, the other child could be upset that they're going to get a brother or sister type thing. One of those weird things. If, I don't want to share my things. But nonetheless, I'm seeing this as an ultrasound, and it feels, I feel very, very protective over it. I also want to note in this ultrasound specifically, I feel like I'm seeing, I don't know if it's a gopher or a groundhog. So this might have been something in whatever channel this is in, right? Personal, professional, romantic, platonic. Feels like something maybe I've tried and tried again and I keep trying, but this feels like it's coming into fruition. There's a lot of characters here off to the side. Like there's been a lot of characters in this story. See where I want to dive in next. Because I'm just feeling protected and protective being a guest here. So thank you. And this ultrasound, something it has hints of emotion of creation. Whatever a wish was, a wish. Give me a moment. So there's a golden guide right here. He has 2 braids. They're shorter, but there's something about his goatee or his beard and the way it's tied. So I don't know if that's a certain... I don't know what it is, but I'm kind of getting like Inca vibes. I don't know if they had particular... Because I'm seeing like beads. There might have been some sort of healing on like... on a natural space, like deep healing about something. Maybe in order for this to come into fruition. Yeah, it's kind of like Inca. I realized I don't even, is it, I think it's a C. I always want to put a K in favor of the ink. There is a person standing here. I feel like I feel as though I'm seeing a story of a little girl whose one leg grew taller faster than the other. And as she stepped in life, she was always told, no, you have to watch where you're going. Go there. No, go here. And as I step in with this one leg longer than the other, but it allowed me to step into deeper waters than others because I could always bend my other leg and it wouldn't get wet. So as I step into these ideas, opportunities, perhaps risks, maybe have taken risks, whatever the case is, I feel like I can balance myself as well. And it is with my longer leg I will step forward so I can step in more deeply and still keep my balance up top and then bring my other leg that's just a little bit shorter. And what's funny about it being just a little bit shorter is that there's a turtle as well, like holding on to it. And it adds no weight, I hear. It reminds me to go a little slower. And maybe that's why I feel, in some cases, Aquas, if in whatever way this may resonate, it's like with this extra long leg, you can take this massive leap and bound. But it takes a little bit longer for the short leg to catch up and then ground itself. Do you know what I'm saying? And I know this is kind of a weird thing, but it's actually how I'm seeing it. So it's like I feel like it's very natural for you to take these large leaps. But I want to stay balanced and I'm looking down. And then I have a squirrel on top of my hat that likes to play. Yes, and even as I'm looking like down at the thing, it's like seeing the crick of the neck and the son of this golden guide. And I'm looked upon. I'm looked upon by this guide as I take these leaps and bounds. And over time, I realize I'm actually stepping towards where the other part of my longer leg is. My other leg to be just the same length. But there's something about balance I needed to understand. Something about play with this flying squirrel. It's like I was trying to fly with legs. I feel like that was a really weird thing to say, but hopefully in some weird way, it made sense because I can't really recap it. But there's the other leg. Also, somebody might have a limb and what is it? Prosthetic? Prosthetic. Because I'm seeing somebody also here in a very high chair, but this high chair isn't in relation to youngness. It is like a very high wheelchair, but I'm like, because I'm stepping out of it. I'm stepping out of it. Somebody was there to make sure I didn't fall. There's that guide, patience. That golden guide was always asking you to be patient with this. Especially if you're moving through a prosthetic. And even if it's not an actual prosthetic of sorts, it kind of reminds me of like this, how do I say? Enhancement. Feels like an enhancement. And it's something that I can put on or take off. It's, in a very simple way, it's coming like through a knee brace or something like that. You can wrap your knee to help protect it, feel safe, more stable. The simplicity of putting your arms out when you're walking or having a stick with you helps balance. Like the simplicity of a tool can take you really, really far. Man holding a coin. And appreciation. If you have a support system around you, Aquas, I feel as though you are... Okay, first of all, somebody in their career, whether it's your job, you're an entrepreneur, something along that lines. If you're not already ready, I see a lot of wealth, and it's only been a matter of time and patience to see that wealth come into fruition. But I think it's changed along the way. It's not all about the dollars and cents, but I feel like I'm very comfortable in that realm. I like the respect. And this is if you're, male or female. This is just the energy stepping forward. There's an appreciation. Also, if you were in a state of hurt and moving into healed to wellness, you're very grateful for the people around you, even if this isn't in relation to like a body part, but perhaps your career and the people supporting you. Maybe the people at your job, if you're a boss, supporting characters in your home, your partner, whatever the case is. Gratitude goes both ways to get the most out of it and to give the most. You'd be surprised where some strength comes from. It could be a lot of it could be from like you're viewed as so strong because of the supportive souls around you. 6th chakra, Archangel Metatron and the Angel of Strength. And then you have here action. There's been a patience in merging, whether it's a relationship or within the self, and you're taking action. You've reached a certain pinnacle of strength. It's like you can only get so strong from this space. Like let's take the analogy in whatever context it may be in. You can only get so strong. You can only go so far healing in the wheelchair, and then you're going to get nervous, but you have support, right? There's people there that are cheering you on, supporting you to step out and have the shakes and whatever this is in relation to, but building strength. And then you walk a little bit at a time. And I feel like now you're like a gymnast of it all, a gymnast. There's a Superman here. It's like a regular person, and not that Superman's not a regular person, but it's like a regular person that is imbued with like Superman qualities that's very captivating. They're giving you a little something. They have a little something for you. It's almost like a clue to what's your kryptonite, if you don't know already. Because you're so tall, and they are handing you this little gift. Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when a child hands you like a mud pie and they're like, here, I made you a pie. And you're like, oh, thank you. Because truly, thank you that they were considerate to create this thing, this mud pie, but it's mud. And you're probably not going to eat it because it's mud. Do you know what I'm saying? But it feels sweet like that. The 2 of Wands came in the reverse, if that means anything to you. Some of you might have been in a situation or could be in a situation where it's like, should I stay or should I go? Are you in a throuple? Is that okay with you? Or are you in a situationship? I'm not really sure. Okay, so if I may, take him. I want to put him where she is. And this character, allowing them to change. And they scatter. So, and now I'm seeing it's all fun with all this children kind of stuff. It's like playing with kids. It's like, let's play monster. And it's like, I'm going to get your nose. Rah. And they're like, no. And they're all running away. But it feels all very playful. But I feel like I'm also being taught something. But this feels like you are in that space. You are in the space of being the monster. And you're so scary. But really, you're like, I was just playing. I hope this is making sense along the way. And then I also have here the Queen of Swords and the Devil. There's a lot of balance coming through, as much as it may. And you know what's funny? Okay, and then you also have the 5 of Swords here. There's all this kind of play happening. I feel like somebody wants me to take it really seriously. So for a moment, I'm going to acknowledge in this protective measure, like this defense, this crossbow. Okay, so, and then with, right, the monster play, the 5 of Swords, and it's like, and then somebody got greedy about something. Somebody got greedy and they took it too far. This is how I'm feeling. I don't know what it's in relation to. If it's not your part of your scry story, please leave it for others to receive. But thank you for holding space for it to be shared. And they just took it too far. So then it's like, okay, now we need to get serious here with the Queen of Swords. Now you've called in the big guns. And you know what it kind of reminds me of? It's like, Dad was playing and having fun. They took it too far, and now Mom's got to come in and drop the hammer. At least, and I'm saying that from experience, so I'm not trying to be, stereotypical. It's just, here it comes. And now you've made Mom mad. And it's almost like that feeling if you maybe have been in some sort of relationship, business, professional, corporate, creative, etc., where if the dynamic just wasn't, there was like this little bit of a tussle back and forth, you weren't really sure. Because there is some confusion I have over here when I lean into the ink blot. And how do I say? Okay, so this is the way it's coming through. I'm not going to try and make it any more normal. We're not normal here, but that's wonderful. And if you haven't already, please do like, share, subscribe, Aquarius. I appreciate you and your awareness, and your support truly warms my haunted heart. So this is how I'm going to say it. And this is the way it's coming through. The best visions for me. So say you are in a relationship or resonance, friendships, I don't know what it is, job, okay. And you walk in, you have a prosthetic leg. And you don't need to wear the prosthetic leg, but you have the prosthetic leg. Again, it could be like an armor, or maybe you have this as well because it's like you've made leaps and bounds, and this is like something that's come in to fill in the gap. Whoever else you might have been working with or people around you took that prosthetic leg. Now, they might have thought they have immobilized you because somehow your talent is threatening to them. I'm assuming, given, like, why would you do that? Even in the symbolic analogy. But then they give you something little in return. And you're like, no, I'd like my leg back. And you know why I think it's a whole leg thing? Is because you have a leg up on something or someone. And I don't think they enjoy it. You have a leg up. I understand that might have been a very creepy way that it came through, but we're spooky here, so... Spooky, not scary. Down here at the bottom where I was focusing in relation to this is you have a covenant sacred contract. I do feel like this is more career oriented, or again, it could be in somewhere where there's a third party. So, right? You and your partner get married. The government is now a third party to that. You and your partner have a child or adopt. There's a third party now in that. You and your couple, or you and your best friend, they also have a best friend. There's a third party. There's something about this third party that feels your talent, just by being you, they feel you have a leg up on things, is a threat to them. There it is. Now, if you are looking for a new job or anything along that lines, I want to say, like, congratulations again, just like the preggers in this ultrasound, because I think you might be looking for something. Because this is now the journey I'm on. It's like I'm not excuse me, I'm not accepting your little gift when you took my whole leg or tried to take my leg up, because they're under the assumption like you didn't work for that. And even still, none of your business type thing. There's just a little something. Okay, so I'm wandering on up here, and then it's like I follow through, and then the irony is that whatever you decide to do, whatever you decide to sign, always look at the details of things. Maybe take a look at the timing. Take a look at the timing. I'm seeing Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. Doot, doot. He's over here. There's a big gentleman aura. He might have been in the Navy. He feels like he's from the 30s, 40s, 50s. I don't really know. I'm horrible with the time. Something along that lines. He is sweating. He has worked hard for you to have certain opportunities. And this is not like in a, I'm not getting the feeling he wants accolades for that. I think you already know this, whoever this is, grandparent, great-grandparent, something along that lines. And he's wearing one of those, like, we would call them vintage now, sailor hats. Sorry, I'm so coffee in your reading as well. I don't know. So maybe he was a smoker. He might have, I don't know, maybe he did drown or something along that lines. It does feel Navy boat-ish. Anyway, he did a lot of work for you. He knew what he was working for, and he invested. Is this why somebody thinks you had a leg up? Is it maybe a company when he came back? Oh, is it a cigarette or a pipe? Nonetheless, it's fine. So it's like somebody might assume you had a leg up because of your dad or your grandpa's company. Now you're working, oh, you only got this job because of your grandpa's company, and you're like, okay, if that's what they're going to think, that's what they want to think, because it's like heightening something about them, right? But you're just like a bigger representation of really what they want. Because I feel like you have all these characters that kind of come with you, like in this storybook. You even like maybe had to walk away from something or will walk away from something, inspired by, March aura. It's like a pilgrimage to find yourself. I didn't want to go to the family business, or I didn't want to maybe get married. But inevitably you come back and you're like, okay, I do. And now you know why you do. I'm not going to do it just because everyone else wants me to do it. Now I want to do it. It's absolutely some sort of grandparent or great-grandparent in your lineage. Yeah, and he sends you all the love in the world, right to the heart. He wanted you to be victorious, and you are victorious from any sort of hostile energies that are none of your business. He helps bring about any sort of balance to anyone who's trying to add attachments to you. Thank you. Sometimes you got, again, it's like bringing in from that center space. The mom comes in, you've ticked off the mom, and now it's like hammer dropped. It's like somebody called in the big guns of Popeye the sailor, and it's like, well, there it is. There's a devil in there as well. I just saw him. See right there. There's his horn. Did the devil card come up, or did I imagine? Yeah, right there. Okay, so you mean smoking, so maybe something about smoking as well. Seeing Uncle Fester from the Addams Family. This is a woman. It's a woman when I look one way, and it's a male the other way. So it could be somebody in your, even with all the balance that you've had. Could be somebody with just very, balanced energies and expressing their masculinity and their femininity in one space. It's beautiful. Give me a moment here, because there's something else coming out, and I just want to take a moment, and then you have these two cards as well that came up. This looks like a big old pirate ship. Oh. On a canoe. I paddled away for a little bit. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. It's already 24 minutes in. We have here the 12th house and the South Node. Your faith, hidden tendencies, large institutions, or overwhelming events. and there will not be anxiety or trouble about them. For humanity's sake, in the 11th house, your hopes and wishes, and do it for the future, for your future, for your future. Please don't, let these folks distract you, these energies, even if these aren't in your personal world, corporate world, career world, entrepreneur world, but it's just maybe a collective energy you're tuning into. This guide right here is bringing me into the 11th house. And this is where I kind of get that feeling of, I guess it's hope. There's a really creepy story when I zoom out here. And I see a pirate ship and a golden head. Maybe it's like Midas, like the Midas touch guy, beheaded and being dragged out there in the water of the seas. Hostage, people inside, unseen. People trying to get towards them. It's a very uncomfortable story. Okay. Aquas, I'm going to leave it here, but I kind of want to leave on the note of, it's like your talents tickle. And you know how when you tickle somebody, it can drive them mad? And it can also be joyful and funny and silly. But it's like this tickle fights going. Somehow your talents have like tickled to the point of like insanity. You have a lot of superheroes by your side. Yeah, you do. You have a lot of superheroes. They come in all different shapes and sizes. They are trying to help. When I go into when I zoom out and see the pirate story, they're trying to retrieve that Midas touch golden head that again might have been from a different generation, and you're helping something for humanity's sake. You may not even know exactly what it is, but you knew that it was important. There's your hidden tendencies are your talents. And it's funny that through this whole thing, it's been large institutions and stuff like that. And we've been talking about this because I feel like I'm in a big company, pirates and just people everywhere. There will not be anxiety or trouble about, because what you're doing for humanity's sake, and you are a part of humanity. I'm going to leave it here, Aquas. Thank you so much if you did stick all the way through. I appreciate you very, very much. All the links are below if you'd like to help a gal grow, support, like, share, donate, all that kind of great stuff. It truly warms my haunted heart, and I'm so grateful for you. We will flip this ink blot and do it again for later on in the aura of March, mid to end-ish, give or take. But again, timeless, as really, anytime we step in to see, sense, and feel, it's a new point to move from. So, Aquas, blessings. I will see you later. Bye. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man.